Nothing makes my hap heartier. Hi everyone, Liv here again for another episode of Waking Up with WeddingWire. Nothing makes my heart happier than marriage proposals. And since we have been staying at home a lot more than usual, at-home proposals are trending. So I made some new friends over at the WeddingWire forum, and they're here with me virtually to tell their story about their at-home proposal and any tips they may have to make an at-home proposal even more special. Tip number 1. Before you even settle on proposing in the comfort of your own home, make sure to talk to your significant other about what type of proposal you both want. Some may want an extravagant proposal. I'm talking firework, family, friends, the whole shebang. Others might want something smaller and intimate. Communication is key. For example, Kayla knew exactly what she wanted.
There's a running joke in my family. Whenever Christmas time or something came around, I would make a PowerPoint. Or if I wanted a dog, I would make a PowerPoint. If I wanted something, I would make a PowerPoint and do pros and cons on what I wanted. So I kid you not, I made a PowerPoint for the rings that I was interested in.
I actually really love the idea of an at-home proposal. When I heard about how Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got engaged, I thought it was really sweet because it just felt like something supernatural for them.
Here's the next tip. Since you are proposing at home, you might have to tiptoe around to ensure that the big surprise is not ruined. Although it might feel like an at-home proposal is a one-person job, it doesn't mean you can't ask for help. So if you have any family or friends around, get them involved in the planning process. Max took secretive to a whole nother level. He even had to make a fake phone call to the jeweler to convince Kayla the engagement was not happening that weekend.
I started planting fake hints that things weren't going as well as they were actually.
Like, he left the room and was like, I gotta make a phone call. And was like loud on the phone and obviously upset. So I go out in the hallway like, what is going on? He was talking about the ring and I was like, ooh.
I had to kind of just throw her off because she was on my tracks a little bit, and I couldn't let that happen.
I feel like this next tip is super important, so I hope you're still taking notes. Timing is key. While a spontaneous marriage proposal is quite romantic, it's important to consider timing before popping that big question. Also, if your significant other is someone who wants to look their best when you drop to one knee, make sure they're not in their pajamas or with messy hair, or worse, with their nails not painted. Well, this is a perfect time to get a family member or friend to take your significant other to get their nails done before the big engagement. Although there is no such thing as perfect timing, wait until you hear how Max proposed to Michelle.
In the minutes before I was getting proposed, she was in the shower. I ran out to set up my little proposal. But she was taking forever in the bathroom, so I started banging on the door and telling her, hurry up and get out, you gotta see this right now.
That's not how it went. He goes, here, take your time. Take your time. I didn't think much about it, so when I came out of the shower, I just immediately cried seeing the layout of I love you, marry me, and candles. And I said, yes, but I wish you would have proposed to me when I had pants on. We both laughed. And then he handed me a pair of pants.
Here's my favorite tip. Have your partner's favorite food or drink handy. They always say food is the way to your heart, and the way to my heart is definitely tacos and tequila. Kayla and Max made homemade pizza for their engagement, and it was perfect. Let's take a look.
I knew what I was going to do. I knew how I was going to do it. I didn't know the exact timing because we were making pizza. I kept thinking, all right, should I do it before the pizza goes in the oven, after the first bite, after we're done eating? All these tiny little parts, I kept just kind of psyching myself out. Like, okay, no, I can't do it here. I can't do it here. Because I really wanted it to be the best moment. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I've got it in my pocket. We're not doing anything right now. And I'm way too nervous to even wait until the pizzas come out. And so let me just do it now so that afterwards we can eat.
So here's my final tip. Once you have had time to soak up the excitement surrounding your proposal, it's a good idea to share the news with your family and friends. Plan to connect with loved ones after you pop the question, whether that's virtually via Zoom or an in-person hangout.
We probably didn't touch our pizzas for a little while because we were just so happy for that moment that she called her family, and then we finally ate.
That's all the tips I have today. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge shout out to our WeddingWire couples, Max and Kayla and Michelle and Max. I hope these tips inspired you if you are considering popping the big question at home. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the WeddingWire channel for more videos with me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.